alerts from... Come back. God damn it. Is it still working here on Rumble? Let me check. I'm sorry, I had to hang up on a caller. Clear on Twitch. Am I still going on Rockfin? I'm doing this so I can see what stream is still going and what's not. Twitch. Still streaming on Twitch. Yeah, still streaming on Twitch, still on Rumble, apparently. I can see on Rumble and Twitch and YouTube. Only YouTube crashed. Let me see if they started another stream. Sometimes another stream will start on its own. Yep. Did you find me? Yes, you did. I don't understand. I literally don't get it. Why it even did that. Why? It's like, oh, you have people watching your stream? Well, let's see what we could do about that. Let's just see what we could do about that. Oh, man. Okay. I will, since the stream's going again, I unmute the tab. So retarded. Excellent connection. Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened with that. I timed out DITRH so he had the stream pulled. Well, then I guess it's your fault, CMG, isn't it? Yeah, probably. You have to do more to stop me from stalking. I don't know why it would do that. It seriously makes no sense. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hi, Karen. This is Lloyd again. I just want to let you know that you've been blocked off my YouTube for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why, but YouTube dumped my stream and then Streamlabs restarted another one. So if you go back to my channel, you'll see that I'm live again. It's you have to go to the
How
new
do I
stream.
go to your channel?
Well, you go to, are you still watching on YouTube? Can you just click on my channel name? It's
okay, so I just put it in the search.
Yeah.
What name should I put in there? I'm visually impaired, but I can.
If you could put the @ sign and then Karen B, it should pull up my channel with the bird.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you. Bye now.
Okay, thank you. I hate YouTube. Did you guys get a new notification? What's up, Tommy? Got my refund? On what? No, I don't know what that is. That's YouTube. I'm saying, dude, YouTube messes with me. Literally all the other platforms are still going. Hey, Tony Coriolis, thank you for the tip. On Rockfin. Yes. Sorry, everybody who's watching me sit here and try to figure out what's going on with my... See, disrupted everything. And I was, so the phone's back open, stream's back on. We're still going. We got a little bit of time left. Well, nobody else lost connection except for YouTube. So, how does that work? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hi, Karen. It's Rasta.
Hello.
Hello. How are you this morning?
I'm great.
Oh, good. Yeah, me too. It's a beautiful day here, and yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I'm sorry your stream keeps cutting out. I don't know why they want to do that to you.
Yeah, because they hate me.
Yeah, they just don't like the truth, which is which is interesting. On X here recently, there's been Elon started to censor people on there. I guess like certain people, but not everyone. But he's starting to show his hand on the whole censorship thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which that's interesting because they're starting to do opposite of what they were saying they were going to do, and so it's ominous for what's coming with the new presidency and all that. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, if we even make it to that point. There's I feel like there's definitely some tricks up their sleeves up until that point that they might still pull, but
Well, there's already
But
a
yeah,
whole
this,
bunch of turmoil going on in that department. I don't know, how much you pay attention to that, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I don't like paying attention to it, but I do just because it's I don't know. I like staying current in the news cycle, just because there. I don't even know why I like to. Honestly, it's really
I don't like
consumes a lot
to.
of energy.
I don't like to, but I started looking at that stuff again because it actually does affect our lives. What these jerks do actually does affect our lives. So even though it
Yeah,
kind of sucks, we should be paying attention because they do stuff that is usually not good for us.
hold on, I'm on the phone. Yeah, and I agree, and that's probably the main reason why I do as well, because they rely on our ignorance to push a lot of this, and they keep the majority of people in society very ignorant because they're so consumed with sports and all these distractions that they have very little time in their day, and the little time that they do have, they waste it on other entertainment, so that they don't realize what's even happening, and so they can easily just buy whatever narrative that the mainstream media is pushing, that what they want them to believe. And yeah, it creates a very problematic society, especially with not only the political stuff, but the stupid bird flu thing that's on the agenda, and even these different variants that they keep saying are out there. Living here in Portland, it's fascinating to see how the masks are making such a comeback. I mean, some days at the grocery store now, it's like 50% of the people there or more are all masked up, and
Yeah.
it's fascinating to me because like some people I forgot were believers in the first place, and then all of a sudden I go in and there they are, just showing their ignorance again, and it's heartbreaking because I was really starting to see the humanity in a lot of these people. The mask was off for long enough to where I could see a different side of them that is there within us all. But then you go right back into your pen though, right when they start to ring the bell, and they're like, "Come on, it's time to come back to your roost," and so they just go right back in and resort to their beliefs structure that basically is just sending us all down a spiral. And this whole final experiment thing, I can't wait for people to stop talking about it. I know it is just wild to think that that they would have faked the entire thing. I don't see that as plausible in any way. Unless Netflix has like the biggest and most advanced studio of all time, which they're going to build one. They've got plans to build a studio like that. They just announced that they're going to be building this huge studio. I forget where they're building it, but it's they are going to be building a big studio, but I don't think that they've got one yet, but who knows? Who knows, they could.
They might have one yet.
But
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. I just don't see Jaren and Austin walking into something like that and then coming back and telling everybody, "Oh yeah, we saw the sun." Like, it's ridiculous.
I don't either, and like I say, like my view of this reality, I know you don't like the word simulation, and I wish I had another word that I could use to replace that word, but that's just how I view it. I don't believe that it's some type of computer system. I think that our creator does rule this place, and has shown me multiple times how real he is and how divine this creation is. And there's some things that, we just, it's hard to wrap our minds around how the functionality of it works. And the sun is one of those things, the presence of a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, but also how it appears that we have our own personal sun throughout the day, that just, that follows us through the day, that rises and sets for us and provides us with energy and light and information. And that's how I view the sun, as just this mystical object in the sky, kind of like the moon. There's all these ancient stories and traditions of I think the Inca Indians tribe, they have this story of how the moon was placed there by the controllers at some point, long in our history, that the moon wasn't always there. And then all of a sudden it just appeared there.
11/11.
And they what's that?
11/11.
All right. I seem to call you at 11/11 a lot of times. That's awesome. But yeah, have you ever heard that about the Inca Indians talking about how the moon just appeared there?
No.
It's very fascinating. It's a very fascinating. There's this group, this channel called Evolutionary Energy Arts, and they're one of my favorite couples on YouTube. They do fantastic deep dives on what the controllers are doing in our society, and they channel information through what they call the guides, and the true Galactic Federation, which, I mean, that, to some people sounds like nonsense, but at the same time, like, our government even admits to, having these treaties with the Galactic Federation, and that there is some concept of truth to the fact that some people who are remote viewers and whatever have access to be able to channel and connect with the Galactic Federation and other different spirit guides. The Evolutionary Energy Arts people, they have the ability. Their names are Mike and Cindy. And Cindy has this ability to contact people who are no longer in this density. So they've passed away, and they haven't taken another body yet or moved into a higher density. So they're just kind of like in limbo in our reality. So they're still able to see us and be around us and can even guide us. It's kind of like summoning the dead, which, it's a controversial thing to do. However, if you do it with the right intent, it can be very beneficial. Something like playing with a Ouija board or something like that can be very dangerous, because you really don't know what spirit you're dealing with. And so a lot of times you call up these really... Oh, hold on, what is it?
You have to get who gave those mouths up there.
Okay.
Trying to bite.
All right. Yeah. But it's a fascinating topic, and I personally like Witsit. I like Jaren. I really enjoy all their content, and I really appreciate their perspective on all this. I don't think it's fair that Jaren has endured so much of this attack and negativity, and same with Witsit. He's a cool dude, and he's got a family. They both have families.
Yeah.
And they both deserve respect and appreciation. And it really shows how low and disgusting a lot of people in the community are, that they want to attack someone on this level. When, even, playing the devil's advocate, even if they did take money to go and push this and it's not even true, I personally would have a hard time not taking money myself. Like if someone came to me and offered me, it wouldn't even take like a super huge amount of money because I'm poor. and like if they offered me enough money to really like set me right for my life or whatever, it's like who would really, say no to that? And not saying that they did, because I don't believe that they did. But even if they did, I wouldn't hate them for that, because it's a logical move. Life is a survival game. It's a strategic survival game. And, sometimes in life you're faced with choices. All your choices have karma attached to them, obviously. You're going to have repercussions for all the choices you make in life, the good ones and the bad ones. And, there's so many things in life that are worth more than money, and that's why you see some of the poorest people.
So what's worth more than money? What's worth more than money? You just said that you would lie like about this stuff for money. So what's worth more than money? Because for me, I feel like my self-respect and my integrity is worth more than money. Like I just couldn't.
Yeah, well, that's
forever. I'd be the chick who sold out for money and turned my back on truth. I couldn't live with that.
No, and that's where I think my mic disconnected, because I was saying that there's karma attached to everything, and there's so many things in life that are worth more than money, and that's why you see some of the happiest people in the world are some of the poorest people, because they realize that money can't buy happiness. And even if you have all the resources in the world provided to you, if you don't have your peace of mind and your soul consciousness intact, which I think it relies on truth in a lot of ways to have a fully intact soul. Because the more lies that you buy and you push onto other people, there's negative karma attached to that. And, sometimes it doesn't come to fruition for years. I mean, look at the whole Diddy thing, and LeBron James and Jay-Z and all of these characters who, are billionaires and really were living large until, everything just came to light. And it was all part of the plan this whole time for, because, Diddy, was allegedly an asset for the federal government. And, and now, like, he was just doing the devil's work this whole time and living large. And, he was a useful idiot in the whole thing. And that's how the whole thing operates. It's a battle for good and evil. And we're given a choice in life. All of us, face forks in the road every day where we can go to the good side. It's like Star Wars. We can be Luke Skywalker, we can be Darth Vader. We all have that potential inside of us, though. And humanity, and the advancement of humanity relies on us to be light warriors and to stand up for truth and righteousness, and to not allow that to wean in any way. Even though we are granted with so much grace in this world to make mistakes and to correct ourselves, because that's part of the human. We are, we're not perfect, and so we make mistakes. But yeah, it's just fascinating. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to be excited for this whole final experiment thing to be over. I've wasted so much time listening to. I don't even know why I do it. It's like torture myself listening to Nachikita talk. I go onto he's since the Rising Earth debate him and I had, which that was just I was just having fun with the thing. It was like comedy for me, and it was hilarious, like listening back to it. but his belief structure and his little bubble that he's in, it's so cringe. And he's not the only one, but I don't listen to other people, and it's sad because his spiritual beliefs and his beliefs on like the Buddhist perspective and other things like that I really align with. And if he wasn't such a drama queen, I really like the guy. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the way it is with a lot of people. They get so wrapped up on one topic, and then it just, it's kind of like when you're dating somebody or whatever, and then someone will do something to find a reason to be turned off by you, and then it's hard to like look past that. You can't continue to date that person because you're turned off by them now. And when someone ultimately turns you off, then it's hard to become reattracted, because the whole process is building a rapport with yourself. And I'm an expert at that too, because I've really, my ego has been depleted in so many ways, but at the same time I've made a fool of myself so many different times, not only in on the YouTube community, but in my own personal life. I'm an expert at it. I seem to self-sabotage myself so many times that I'll have something going good for me for a really long period of time, and then I'll do something subconsciously that will just sabotage the whole thing and put me right back in a correction point where I have to start all over in so many senses. So I don't know. Now I'm just kind of ranting though, but I appreciate you letting me call in every time, and I appreciate your perspective on this topic, because like I say, it's very based. And while it was funny, your interaction with Sav the other day, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that, and that people are clipping it and whatever, because I've had the same deal with Sav multiple times too, and like we've had heated debates, and while it's not fun for the person, the community loves it, because it's ultimately people get on YouTube and other things. Some people are really hungry for truth, but other people just really want to be entertained, and that's what we're seeing here, especially with this, because they want entertainment. So we're doing a good job of providing that entertainment continually by doing things like this, even though at the end of the day it's super lame. Like we knew there was going to be a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and a lot of us though, we realized that like you've done experiments and others that have measured water to be flat, and there's no curve to it. You can see too far. And so this, the only person who really was calling this a final experiment was Will Duffy, and then other people attached to it. But at the end of the day, it's not really a final experiment. Honestly, it's not really an experiment at all, because the data is, we haven't even, that's the thing too, people are jumping to conclusions before all the data has been even released, and that's fascinating. Like data takes time to process, and sometimes, especially if you're doing it properly, you have to analyze the data. And the fact that they came back, during the holiday season, it's like, who's going to analyze data when there's presents and family and food and Christmas trees, and people just want to enjoy each other's company. They have no obligation to everyone in this community to drop their family already missed them when they had to leave to go on this trip. It's a huge undertaking to go on a trip like this. I couldn't personally leave my life for that long to go do something as silly as this. But I digress, though. But I gotta get off here and get my daughter off to camp for the day and making some pancakes and stuff here. So
Okay, well, good.
all
right.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a lovely day. I love you, and I love everybody in the chat. You guys, I love this Monday coffee talk. It's a good way to start the week, and yeah, your voice is just very soothing and enjoyable to listen to. So,
Well, thank you.
Yep. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
All right.
Send him a bill for $300. Oh my gosh. Nobody can please everybody. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Karen B on YouTube, right?
Yes.
I'm in the chat. Thomas Morgan.
Oh, okay. What's up, Thomas? How are you?
I'm a good friend of Mr. Joe Hill. Effed Up World.
Oh, okay, cool. I like Joe. He's cool.
Yeah, Joe's very humble. He's a good guy. I've met him a few times up there in Minnesota. I haven't met too many of the flat earthers. Anyway, I just wanted to give my testimony a little bit, see what people thought.
All right.
I came to the whole flat earth thing in, 2016. It was either the end of 2015 or the beginning of 2016 because I remember it was cold in Florida, so it was like wintertime. That's all I remember. But I was a huge space guy. Like, I studied, Planet X, Nibiru. I was in that, about 6 years. And then went into researching, Mars. I studied Mars for, 5 years. I literally had all the, what do they call those? The things, the rovers. I had a huge picture of Mars on my wall, and I had all the rovers spotted out. I was trying to figure out how we got here. I always believed in a God, one God who created all things. I don't go by a name or anything like that, but I was just wondering how did we get here, and I was kind of like, were we on Mars and something happened and we were sent to Earth, we came to Earth? Just there's that big canyon or whatever it's called, the Grand Canyon on Mars. It's like a big rift or split. They say, I don't believe Mars is a place you can go to anymore. But this all came from this flat Earth thing. I pondered on it for 3 days. The first day I remember I laughed. I was like, there ain't no way. This is stupid. I'm from Florida, huge NASA fan. I used to put the space shuttle launches and stuff on my remember and rush to go there and watch. Just the enthusiasm of trying to keep up with them. And they just went silent for a while. They went silent for 10 years, NASA. I thought they were done. It's nothing was going on. And then this big SpaceX guy, Elon Musk, just comes on the scene and literally takes over NASA. Can you believe that? I mean, how does that happen? One man takes over NASA. I would never thought that would happen. Whether you believe it or not, I believe it's strong delusion. I believe they are deceived, that NASA's deceived, and that they're in the same category we were in. Like I was in. They're going to go to Mars. The moon is a rock we can go land. I'm not saying I know anything about what the moon is or the sun is. I've never been to heaven. I don't know how far things are up there. I really don't even know what they are. They're just lights. So I kind of just stand on the Word of God. I never read Scripture. I remember like 12, 13 years old. My mom passed away when I was like 15 from a drug overdose, like literally right in front of me.
Oh, how awful.
But I remember like just trying to figure things out. And I would open the Bible and I just felt like, I'm not going to be able to understand this, so why take the time to try to read it? I felt like God was like, shut it, don't worry about it. I would try to go to church, I would get picked on a lot. Like, I got crooked teeth, and then I was poor growing up, couldn't wear nice clothes. It's like, so I just stayed away from the church scene. But then, like I said, the flat earth thing came along. And it led me, I'll tell you what really led me to open the Bible was the Bible claiming the earth is stationary. And the whole flat earth community, you know, thinks the earth is not moving. And I'm like, wow, the Bible says that? And I look around, I'm like, maybe we're not moving. It looks like we're not moving. You know? Mm-hmm. And I never went back. I just opened it up. And, like, the things that have been revealed to me, and I'm not saying I'm smarter than anyone. If you ask me, I'm the dumbest. I drive a truck for a living. Come on. Like, I mean, we all got to do something, but I've been driving a truck like 20 years. I'm driving right now, like, literally.
Mm-hmm.
I just seen your number, and I was like, I'm just going to reach out. And I put the comment in your comment. If only flat earthers knew who they are. This whole is written. This whole thing is written. This would happen, and people don't see it. I don't understand why they don't see it. If they would just take the credibility of who they are. Because I'm not talking about Christianity or religion. No, not even the Bible. It's written in the Bible, but of course, man put the Bible together. I'm not saying the Bible is 100% the Word of God. There's things in the Bible that are error. But there's also things that are written in the Bible that are like, they're beyond truth to me. They're happening before my eyes. I cannot deny it. So it's either, I've come to this conclusion, it's either man plotted all this and they're just putting it together and they're, you know, fulfilling it, or there were people thousands of years ago that got some kind of knowledge from a heavenly source. And they knew these things would take, like they saw these things, like they saw the time we're living in right now. I really do. I believe that like David and Ezekiel, they saw us living in the time we're living in right now. With the whole world believing in space, and they're living on a planet. There's no, if you believe that you're living in space, like the earth is in a void of darkness, and you're a Christian, this is how I got to reach out to this, and you're a Christian, where's the kingdom of heaven? Because the Bible clearly says that he's above and his kingdom is above. And it's like, where is the kingdom of heaven? It's just, they say it's just darkness that goes on forever. I believe that is the darkness that Jesus was referring to in the scripture. It's not like people are plotting some dark, you know, or darkness in a room of secret people hiding things. No. It's literal darkness above us, or that surrounds us, you know, or maybe where Austin, I'm still with Austin and Jaron. I've been with Jaron since day one. I remember the first day I saw Flat Earth, I saw Jaron's channel, and I've been there the whole time. And it's like, I can't turn my back on Jaron. I really believe Jaron wants truth. He wants to know the truth. Mm-hmm. Austin as well. Mm-hmm. You know, and Austin was in the scripture for a while, and I don't. He kind of backed off it. I don't know. I pray that he would go back to it. But, and again, it's not about religion. It's not. It's from my heart. It's not about religion. There is a source. I believe Christ is that source. Christ came to bear witness of the truth. And he knew the truth. And the Father in heaven, the Creator, gave him the truth. And he's here to show us the truth and get us out of lies, because the lies is what's it's gonna judge your soul in the end when this is all said and done. Do you abide in the lies? Do you love the lies? Do you want lies? Do you not care? I hear a lot of people tell me that. What does it matter? I don't care about the shape of the earth, triangle, square. paper towel roll. I don't really care. It's not about the shape of the earth. It's the lie behind it, and it's really about the heavenly, the kingdom in heaven. Jesus said that there would be this gospel. Just hear me out here. Jesus said that there would be this gospel that would be preached in the end when the Antichrist is ruling and reigning and the world is apostate. They fell away from the truth. And he said that these people from all nations would come together and they would have this truth and they would share it among people. And some would receive it and some would reject it. And then destruction would come, and those that were in the truth survive the destruction and they make it to the other side, and those that are in the lies, well, they perish. It's like, you can call that the wheat and the tares being separated. I really believe that's what's happening right now. And you know, I just see everybody, not everybody, but I see a lot of people arguing and fighting, and they're fighting and arguing over things that are in heaven. Like, how do you know that? Is water level? Does the ground look like it's moving? Are we spinning 1,000 miles an hour?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where I leave it. Is those two things right there: water being level and the ground not moving. I can never go back to a planet. If you really research what the word planet means, oh wow, yeah, it's probably the furthest thing away from the truth that you'll ever encounter. The word planet, so it's planeo, Greek, and it means to be led astray, to cause to wander, to go away from God's circle of truth. I believe on the fourth day of creation, these wandering stars, they transgressed. The stars were all doing the same order. God set them in motion. And then those 7 stars, they transgressed their order. And through that, man's looking into heaven. So think about it. Galileo, whatever his name is, and all these astronomers, philosophers, whatever, they would look at the planets and they would say, oh, look, there's moons going around Jupiter, so that means that the moon's going around us. It's the planets that led us to where we're at. And I believe that they're Satan's angels. I'm not saying that those are the ones that came down and did what they did with man, or I don't know how all that works. But I believe I believe that they are in a abyss. It's bottomless. And above that or in that is God's kingdom. It's in, like, the darkness surrounds his kingdom. So it's covering. I believe if you were where NASA claims to be and you turn the light on, you would see the kingdom of heaven. And they're whether you want to believe it's real or it's written in the Bible that NASA would be there. But they would go into darkness. And they're not supposed to be there. And by doing that, they cause the destruction. They destroy the heavens. They catch the heavens on fire. All this is written in the scripture. Jeremiah saw it. Ezekiel saw it. They all said it in a different way. They all saw it in a different way, but they all saw the same thing. Enoch, you know, what do I care about Enoch, whether I believe it or not? What do I care? Like, the things that are written in Enoch. I'm like, wow, how do you know that? I don't care who wrote it, when it was written, or how we even came to it. How we even know it's there. It's the things written in it. Yeah, like Enoch 56, there's men riding on chariots on the winds of heaven, and the noise of their chariots shook the heavens, and they were they were tormenting the angels, and they caused destruction. We look at like Enoch 83, the earth is swallowed up into the abyss, like the trees are de-rooted from their stem. Like, this is all coming, people. I'm not here to fearmonger, but it is coming. The starship thing they're building, not good. None of these are good. The space shuttle is written in Daniel. The Russian Soyuz was written in Daniel. Saw that. He saw things made of metal. They had breastplates of metal, iron teeth, and they were rising out of the earth, and they were going to the stars, and they were coming back to Earth. They were casting the stars down. Daniel said they were little horns. Think about these capsules. It just happens to be called Dragon. Like,
yeah, it's interesting.
I I got two things here. Either man puts all this together and they're just rolling it out, or there's some type of spirit or heavenly being that is revealing these things, that knows these things, like he's outside of time, and he's showing those that want to see. I don't care what you're, Christian, Catholic, Muslim, it don't matter. You want the truth. You want to see this knowledge, this heavenly knowledge, and be part of the kingdom of heaven. Do you want heaven, or do you want eternal darkness? I hate to throw a name out there, but McToon, he's in love with dark. He loves it. He's not fighting for the shape of the earth. He's fighting for space. He loves the idea of space. Let me just look at his background. He's got a rocket sitting right there.
Oh, that guy creeps me out. He creeps me out so bad. I refuse to talk to that guy.
I met him in person. I took a load to Denver. I made the point, scheduled it with dispatch. I took a load to Denver to not so much defend Joe, but to defend his love of the scripture. And I went there. I met McToon. I met Duffy. I went there on a Saturday. They had the debate. Joe was getting laughed at, ridiculed. They were all like, they had a question thing at the end where you could come up and ask questions. And I threw some scriptures at them, and I said what I just said right there. And they were like, oh, no, like, get out of here. I told them about Ezekiel 8, where Ezekiel was lifted up between heaven and earth, and he saw men worshiping the sun, and their backs was against the temple of God. They didn't want to see the temple of God. They saw the sun, and they were worshiping it. And they were like, no, we're not sun worshipers. I'm like, think about your model here. The earth is in the Goldilocks zone. If it was a little bit closer to the sun, we would all cook. If it was a little bit further, we'd all freeze. I know, I studied all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And laugh at us like we don't know anything, but we knew everything you know. We were there. It's a veil. These people aren't meant to see the truth. The people in your chat, they see the truth. It says, if you read Isaiah, just take the time. I'm just talking to the listeners right now. Take the time and think about what's going on with your experience here, however long you've been in the, whatever you want to call it, flat earth thing. And just read Isaiah 40 through 53. And there's these people that God, he calls them, they're scattered in all nations. He calls them to declare his glory, to declare the former things. To declare, he even tells you what the former things are. That they are the things that he declared in the beginning of creation. And they all come together and they declare God's glory. And it's like I always put it in everybody's chat, Isaiah 40 through 53, where the earth is literally made level. And where, well, like Sean Griffin, he says, oh, that's when the kingdom comes down and that causes the earth to level out. I'm like, are you sure? Because John saw the kingdom of heaven come down before the kingdom of heaven came. He saw a new heaven and a new earth before the heavenly Jerusalem came down. And I'm like, I see a new heaven and a new earth. I don't live on a globe anymore. Space is fake. Space isn't what the world thinks it is. It's not fake. It's there. It's an abyss. It's outer darkness. It's where Jesus cast evil spirits to. And NASA's in there swimming in it, playing in it, as if they know what it is. They just call it dark matter. They're going to find out the hard way. It's been put on my heart to say these things, and I just got to keep saying them. And I read Ezekiel 33, and there's days I'm out here and I just cry. I just start crying. I'm like, and I don't know why other people can't. Especially, I'm reaching out to those that are in the truth community, those that I know in my heart want truth. I'm like, open it up, read it. Your name's in there. You're supposed to be doing something. And I don't see the people doing it. And I'm like, why? I know the saints are going to be rebelled against by the little horn. The little horn's going to rebel against them. And I see that as, oh, it's fake. They don't even believe it. Like saints overcoming them in a way, but in the end, they get through. Like they overcome Satan. They take his dominion. And I believe it's the dominion of heaven. So when people are saying, no, space is fake, they're taking away Satan's dominion, because space is what Satan set up to take away the kingdom of heaven. Satan's doing all this, not the Freemasons, not the Jesuits. No, these spirits, Satan's angels, Satan and his dominion is what led the world astray. It says it right there in Revelation that Satan would deceive the whole world. Not the whole world, minus the Freemasons, the Jesuits. You're not wrestling against flesh and blood. Your battle's not against other men. You know, if they don't want truth, they're blind and they can't see, and they're not going to see. Go on, move on to the next. That's it. Your family included. I've lost everybody. Everyone. The only one that I really know that I have that I can depend on as far as all this goes is Joe Hill. That's it. Everyone else, they label me crazy. Even in the truth community, they're like, oh, here comes Thomas. He's going to start putting these scriptures in there again. You know, men climbing up into heaven. And they tell me, no, that's not what that is. You're wrong. Well, I think very shortly we're all going to find out when the heavens depart. I hate to say that. But what comes after that is, you know, it's all God's will. It's these beasts and these devices of Satan, it's God doing it. It's God allowing Satan to do what he needs to do. And Satan don't even know it. To get back to his people, to gather Israel. Because in the end, it's just God and Israel. The angels are dissolved. The hosts of heaven they're burned away. No more moon, no more sun. Like, it's God and his people. That's it. And his people it's not about black, white, purple, green, orange. No. It's, do you want the truth? Do you abide in the truth? I can't get on the label game. It's just like, preterist, and I'm like, what are these names? Gnosticist or Gnostic or whatever it is. I'm like, well, I don't even know what these mean. You want it or you don't want it? You fight against it. If you love the lies, you're in the darkness. If you want the truth, you're of the light. And you want to be with whoever made that light. Let's just leave it there. I hate to rant. I really appreciate you giving me the little bit of time to get it off my chest, because I'm out here and I don't have nobody to talk to, and I just felt like I would call. I seen your number on there, and I was like, hey, I'm calling that. I really do like I would call it like a feisty attitude. You're not willing to put up with people's BS. You just say it like it is. I like that. So,
yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Listen, everybody, don't let the stars and the sun and moon lead you astray. I'm not saying that's what they're made for, but we can't look up at the lights and say, well, this is, you know, they're doing this and they look like this, so we're living on this. You know, you use your God-given instincts. Look at the ground, measure the water. Is it moving? Is it where's the curvature? I mean, I just leave it there.
Exactly.
But I'll give somebody else time. Much love, everybody. Y'all keep it real. Keep seeking truth, for sure.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Much love, Karen. Nice talking to you.
Yeah. Bye.
See you.
That's cool. Well, he said he wanted to give his testimony, and I thought, well, let's hear what he's got to say. You can usually learn something from everybody, even people that you don't think you can learn from. So, you know, as long as he's not talking too crazy, we'll let it ride. We all need to stop putting our faith in man. Listen, I can agree with that. But, you know, at the same time, you know, I do have some faith in my friends to not be lying douchebags. And until somebody shows me some solid evidence to the contrary, that's what I'm gonna keep thinking. Boils down to the pilot saying, "Trust me, bro, I'm flying you to Antarctica." But they had compasses. They knew they were in Punta Arenas, which is extremely far south in the country of Chile in South America. You know, there's plenty of ways for them to have verified where they are. I'm pretty sure They went to Antarctica. Pretty sure they saw a 24-hour sun, and I'm pretty sure everybody proceeded to lose their mind right afterwards. If you don't trust anyone ever, life will be very lonely. That's right. Hey, Benjamin Balderson, good to see you. Hail. And Bryce Mitchell, yeah, Bryce Mitchell is a staunch flat earther. He loves to go on and talk about the Bible and the flat earth. He's very entertaining. Trust is not part of the scientific method. Well, they didn't do an experiment. They made an observation. So, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, that's fine. Okay, you guys, I'm going to take a short break and I will be right back. Alrighty. Is it wine o'clock yet? It might be on your side of the plane there. On your little wedge. CMG. My cognitive dissonance not cool. I don't have any cognitive dissonance. The prophet Enoch said that the stars would lead mankind astray. No, I don't, dude. Because there's just no proof. There's no proof that it's fake. Filmed in a studio in Cali, facts, okay. I mean, you guys believe whatever you want to believe. You know? I just don't care anymore. I don't really care about arguing with people and their beliefs, because how do you argue with somebody over their beliefs? They're gonna believe whatever they want to believe. Something even an atheist would take offense. Be a jerk, I don't care, don't talk about my savior, that way I lose all respect. Jaren does say bad things about God. I get it. I get why anybody who's a Christian or, you know, a follower or anybody like that would take offense to some of the stuff that Jaren says. He does say some stuff, you know, but that's... What are you going to do? You know, it doesn't make him a liar. It just means he's a doubter. Wasn't there like Doubting Thomas or whatever? I don't know. Jimmy Carter died again. Yes, I saw Jimmy Carter died this morning. He went on a rant because he was upset because everybody was saying that he was lying and that they faked it. And it's ridiculous. Like, if you go and you actually do something and then you come back and everybody's like, oh, you faked it. I mean, and I got that about Balaton too. They're like, oh, yeah, that's all fake. And then people to this day try to tell me that they debunked our laser measurements. No, they didn't. Nobody debunked shit. Nobody debunked a damn thing. And nobody has ever gone and tried to repeat our observation and debunk it or prove us wrong in any way, shape, or form. And it's perfectly... all the information is laid out for people to do it. They can go do whatever they can. Anybody can go try to repeat it and show that they don't get the same results that we do anytime they want. And nobody's done it. Nobody's debunked a damn thing. You know, so, but people will still to this day say it. People will believe whatever they want. They'll say whatever they want. They don't care. Most people in this world, it's pretty obvious they don't have any integrity. You know, they don't care if what they're saying is true or not. They just say stuff. But Witsit did use vape smoke to pretend it was breath. I never saw proof of that. I never saw proof of that. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hello, Karen. This is Russell. I used to have a channel called Flat Out Faith. And I just wanted to call in and just let you know that, you know, between, I think it was 2017, 18, 19, right on through there, that it seemed like all the fighting came from, like, the ballers, you know what I mean? Like, it was just such a different time to be kind of in the community. Mm-hmm. And, you know, during that time, you know, my late wife had got sick. And so we spent like 2 full years traveling around. Like, we went up to Washington and saw, you know, like Daryl Marble and Mark and Dottie and all them people up there. And then we went to Denver and, you know, met Bob Nodell and, you know, Matt Priscilla, Nate, that was the first time I met Nathan Thompson, and they were all there. And we just, you know, kind of all met at this pizza place and shared different stories and went to the conferences. And, you know, we'd get Airbnbs and just have big meetups all over the place, it seemed like. And, you know, nobody really blasted each other. You know what I mean? Maybe we had different views on things, but people really didn't, you know, get online and like start making Eric Dubé hit pieces. You know what I mean? Eric was sort of at that time was kind of the one who did that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I remember Patricia coming under fire, and a couple other people, and everybody was kind of under fire from, you know, the ballers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as far as all of us getting together, you know, I went to the first Flattoberfest. We got you guys were all in an Airbnb out there, and we all went over there. Just had a really good time with Zulu, and you know, I remember going shopping with Zulu, and man, we had just the bizarrest experience ever going to this grocery store with a bunch of flat earthers. Another great experience was going with David Weiss and a whole bunch of people. We went to a mall in Dallas and just flat smacked people all the way through the mall until the mall threw us out. And I just can't see how did it all dissolve into such a psycho, crazy, everybody just, microscoping each other, you know what I mean, to the point of, they just won't believe anything, that those people say. Now, I never was a huge fan of Jaron or anything like that, but, it doesn't mean that I don't believe everything he says, I just have a different belief than he does, as far as spiritually, but, I see this whole thing as just kind of terrorizing the community at this point, and I just want to say how grateful I am to you for having your conferences and for everybody, during a very difficult time in my life before my late wife passed away. And I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for you guys and for the community for those years, that 4 years. I kind of stepped away late 2019 because I had to really concentrate on my late wife's situation. But just truly grateful. I was always accepted, whether we went out and, we got our P900s, we went out to, the California coast and shot stuff. And I forget that guy's name that was always out there doing it, but we met him and he had, his setup, and we did a bunch of long range stuff out there. Everywhere we went, we were met with nothing but good people. Face to face, everybody was wonderful. You know what I mean? And I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful for that time in my life. It's why I have a off-grid place now, a farm with our goats and chickens and all the stuff that I have now is because I did come to the awakening, you know what I mean? That there is a creator and, that we have been lied to all these years and whatever the sun does and all that, none of us really, we had ideas, but we really didn't know. And, the fact they went down there to check it out, hey man, good for them,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some people didn't see what they thought they would see, or maybe that some people don't believe that there is the 24-hour sun, or whatever it is. All I know is with my P900 that I can see too far. That's where I, from my own research is what I came up with. And, man, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of sad to see what's actually happening. So, hey, man, props to you for, standing your ground and, having a peaceful Monday morning coffee talk. It's kind of cool. I really enjoy listening to it, and I really don't say much, or every once in a while I'll, pop in and say something in there. My channel name now is American Off Grid, but, yeah, man, just love all you guys, Tommy and everybody that's over there by you, Dr. Law, man, all those people are good to us.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
always so good to my family. For that I'm grateful. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So hopefully I'll leave you with a little positive note that you've done some good out there, and
Yeah, that is nice, and I do remember you, and thanks for calling, and yeah, those were the golden years, man. That's what Jaron was saying to me in chat earlier. He's like, those were the golden years. It just seemed like everybody it was more same team feeling. Everybody was more like, yeah, we just want to know the truth. And now it's become like all these different cliques and all these weird beliefs that people are starting to latch onto. And if you don't go along with it, it causes division. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really gotten weird. But anyway, I try to stay the same. I feel like I'm pretty much the same as I was a few years ago.
Yeah, and this whole Zulu, I've got a whole bunch of pictures that we took with Zulu. My late wife loved that dude.
Yeah.
Loved him.
He was awesome.
Mm-hmm. He was, and, yeah, I'm just grateful, I'm grateful for Bob, Mark, Rob Skiba, all those guys. All of them. They all had cool information at different times, you know what I mean? And Rob Skiba's presentation was phenomenal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bob had some good ones,
Mm-hmm.
Mark and all of his trips back and forth through the border and stuff and all that crazy stuff he would do.
Mm-hmm.
It was so fun watching all these people, man. It was fun. It wasn't like, looking for like footprints. I don't know, man. It just was such a different vibe. But anyway, I'm grateful. I'll let you go. I just wanted to say thank you, and hopefully I'll get back over there to North Carolina. I think you're about 3 hours from us over here. So maybe during the summer or something.
Oh,
We'll get
yeah.
to see you guys again.
Yeah, we're not far. We should plan a local kind of get together thing when the weather gets a little bit nicer. It'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I hope with it and them guys, I don't know how they pull this back together or whatever, and or if that's even possible, but maybe they will. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're getting hammered from all directions, so it's got to be a nightmare. You know what I mean?
I'm getting hammered just for defending them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty bad right now. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, many blessings to you, and man, Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you. You too, and Happy New Year.
All right. Bye-bye, Karen.
Bye-bye. Yeah, dude. R.I.P. Zulu One. I miss my buddy. Rob Skiba, legend, yes. It's falling apart, Karen B. You need a hug? I'll get a hug from Ted later. He hugs me all the time. Should we watch Eric Dubé's gay video? I want to see, is this what everybody's saying is making everybody believe that Witsit did the vape thing?
Up to 16K resolution, so the
I see, I started watching it, but I couldn't.
360-degree LED studio setups, now with the entire background and
I want to get to the
ceiling or
vape part.
sky, are digitally created in Unreal Engine, then projected live in up to 16K resolution, so the actors on set can see, react, and interact with everything in real time.
Yes, we know about
Amazon
how they make their
comprise
fake movies.
3,000. To begin with, watch the supposed sun
I gotta speed this
circling
fucking
around
douchebag
during their
up.
24-hour time-lapse video, and pay close attention to its shape. Notice how the sun changes from circular to being smushed down horizontally, back to perfectly circular, then smushed across vertically, and then back again. This is not how the sun usually looks or behaves in person, or in genuine footage of the phenomenon from the Arctic. Now, pay attention to the changes in length and direction.
Okay, first of all, I'm pretty sure, wasn't that filmed with the Insta360? Doesn't the Dave McKeegan guy say it was filmed with an Insta360? Those cameras distort things a lot.
Of Micktoon's shadow as he paces around the base camp. In the space of walking only a matter of feet, his shadow somehow completely changes direction and triples in length. Watch as his shadow stretches, contracts, and sharply changes angles within the space of just a few paces. This is not at all normal behavior of shadows being cast by sunlight, or of a man walking only a few steps. The following is a simple demonstration of how light and shadows work depending on the distance of the light source.
Oh my god.
In the first example, the light source is held close to the action figure as he moves along the table.
He's playing with
see quite
toys.
pronounced changes in the length and direction of his shadow. In the second example, the light source is held farther away from the action figure as he moves along the table, and we see much less change in the shadow length and direction. In reality, the sun is much farther away in scale than this demonstration allows for as well, so even the amount of change seen here is being generous. A man walking such a short distance outside should never have a shadow that changes direction 90 degrees and triples in length. Now let's watch as Micktoon and Austin Whitsitt respond to commenters asking them to show their breath in the Antarctic. As they blow hot air out their mouths in freezing temperatures, there should be a cloudy mist that forms in front of their faces as the water vapor in their breath condenses. Instead, however, every time they blow, not a trace of fog appears. In Whitsitt's livestream, he claimed this was because the air was allegedly too dry there. Someone then asks him to pick up some snow, which he initially refuses to do because his hands would be too cold. So he turns his camera off, walks into the shed to grab some gloves, then comes back in front of the camera and exhales 1.5 breaths, which now mysteriously do show vapor appearing in front of his face, only to abruptly stop again.
Yeah, because he drank
camera,
the water
"There's a little breath. What's
inside
up
the
now?"
cabin.
As if somehow proving the skeptics wrong, and claiming that he took a sip of water in the shed, which was supposed to account for it.
Oh, but he's
Another
saying that's a
camera,
lie.
recording from a different angle, however, caught Whitsitt while exiting the shed, doing what appears to be hitting a vape pen, just before turning his camera.
Come on. It looks like he's taking a drink.
Doing what appears to be hitting a vape pen, just before
What is this? It's white. Where's the vape pen?
turning his camera back on.
Where's the puff of smoke over here?
For comparative purposes, here is what someone's breath looks like during winter in Maine, USA. Every time you exhale, there is a visibly noticeable cloudy fog that condenses from the difference in temperature between the hot air in your lungs and the cold air outside. So after exhaling his vape hit,
Maine is not the same humidity level as Antarctica.
All around him, for some reason,
Or temperature.
Austin walks several feet away and picks up a bit of snow from over there, then walks it back to the camera and lets it fall to the ground. If snow is everywhere all around him, why did he have to walk way over there to get some? Anytime close-up footage of their feet was shown, their footprints always failed to make any impression in the snow.
Because it's hard pack
Here, he moves
ice.
his
Oh
left
my
foot,
god.
And there is no impression.
Somebody
footprint,
send Eric
or
Dubé
displaced
to
snow.
Antarctica.
Another thing apparent while watching the footage was the complete lack of wind or any precipitation whatsoever. Throughout the live stream footage, I don't recall a single instance of any wind or even a light breeze strong enough to affect their hair or microphones. Even on a calm, sunny day,
That's
if
not
they were really
true.
outside and not in
That's not true. Jaren had a live stream where everybody was complaining about the wind noise. There was so much wind noise. What a freaking lie. All these points were from other people days earlier. Exactly, commercial sound and video. I thought I was going to watch Eric Dubé's video and there was going to be a different take on here, but it's not. I thought Dubé said there was a 24-hour sun. Now he's saying they faked it. What the fuck? He doesn't know shit. I think he just wants attention. Trevor, I 100,000% agree. Yeah, now I remember why I stopped watching Dubaz. It's dry in Antarctica. Drink or vape, he tried to deceive. No, he's not trying to deceive. So him taking a sip of water is him trying to deceive? That's ridiculous. Can we just leave him there? Yeah. He didn't put any thought into it. He watched everybody else's videos and then he made his own video and then he recorded that stupid little shadow thing. Which is hilarious.
of his shadow. In the second example, the light source is held farther away from the action figure as he moves along the table, and we see much less change in the shadow length and direction. In reality, the sun is much farther away in scale than this demonstration allows for.
How can we be sure that light
so
up
even
there is
the
not
amount of change
moving?
seen
Show
here
us the
is being
light.
generous. A man walking such a short distance outside should never have a shadow that changes direction 90 degrees and triples in length. Now let's watch as McToon and Austin Whitsitt respond to commenters asking them to show.
Oh god. Okay, that's enough. I've had enough. I've had enough. If Jaren and Whitsitt never went there and it was only Globers, you would be praising Dubé's lies and support them? No, I don't. I freaking hate Eric Dubé. I'm not even subscribed to his channel. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen B. It's Tony Coriolis.
Hello, Tony.
Hey, yeah, I didn't have too much to say. I just wanted to chime in with a couple little things, and I'll start off with that Vapegate thing. I just find it to be kind of ridiculous. So just being honest, I do watch Jaren. I watch all his stuff. I really don't watch too many of Austin's videos, but I just know Austin is cool. And I just think that everyone kind of saying, oh, the Vapegate's so 100% thing, like he's trying to deceive us. I find that completely laughable, the fact that he's not even doing videos yet and everyone's 100% on that. Mm-hmm. I find that kind of crazy. So I did even call into a show yesterday to try to kind of just voice my opinion on that. And it's really weird that you get like, I don't know, you get just people in the chats that are mad that you're like, I don't know, defending someone. It's kind of weird. And if you just remember, there was like a little while ago where, I mean, you were kind of saying people are kind of losing it. I was kind of thinking, are people really losing it? I'm kind of seeing, you know, it keeps on going to the next step. And yeah, I got to admit, people are kind of losing it with stuff. And how can anyone claim 100%? You know, Witch is intentionally trying to fake us. I just think that is ridiculous. And I write that down. Like, take note. That is ridiculous. I think anyone's trying to say Witchit, and I don't really even know Witchit all that well. I've just seen him a couple times. I think he's a straight shooter guy. How is anyone thinking that they're like revealing something just with speculation on YouTube, like talking it out? Just because you say it doesn't make it so. So yeah, that's my thought on Vapegate.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, totally. And then, so skipping off of that nonsense kind of stuff, I just wanted to say how last week when we were talking about the moon thing, one thing I didn't really talk out perfectly, and I just want to say, even before I talk this out, I just want to say, I definitely noticed that it is hard to call in and say stuff exactly what you are thinking. So overall, I'm not judging anyone all too hard. Like, I try to call in and talk out stuff. It is kind of complicated. But just one thing I tried to call in and talk out last week is, like, the whole question mark being on the 24-hour moon thing. Like, if it is going 27 days in between the tropics and then 29 for the phases, and it does kind of change. That one, is it Erin Waggy, the astrologer girl? She was chiming in on the chat last week. I did totally appreciate that. I didn't see her around today. But, like, the whole thing on how after a new moon, you only see, like, right when the moon's first starting and you can see it, like, are you able to go to a place and you can maybe see it actually, like, start? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
See it after the sun sets. Like, well, like here in Arizona where I live, you see the moon first appear after the sun sets, and then you first see it, but you can't see it all day, like, behind the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to see because it's so skinny and the sun is so bright. It's hard to find.
Yeah. So I guess then actually no, that kind of, well, okay, thinking about that, like, I just want to see relationally, like, where it would be to the 24-hour sun then in that time, or is that a time where it would be, I guess we just saw if they're going down and saying it is 24-hour. I just think there is definitely something with the moon, and just when you first see it, if the moon's going, you know, around 24 hours, there's a chance you could see it as it is first starting to appear, which would be a new thing to me. That's something I've never heard anyone talk about. And it is such a loose thing. Yeah, I'm even probably describing it wrong, but if you kind of get what I'm saying on it, I don't know. I'm just still thinking about the moon stuff. And just when it first appears, I just wonder if, you know, would it really go from nothing to something? If you're seeing it for, I guess, what they would say is a full 2 weeks, you'd see it down there or something. What do you know on that 24-hour moon video? Jaron played it for me one time, but I haven't even heard of it before he showed me it or something, and he wasn't too sure either. He just, you know, played it one time.
Yeah, I actually have one playing right now that somebody sent me a link to, a 24-hour moon video. It says 14 days at the South Pole.
Yeah, and then does it happen to rise on a full moon, that video?
Yeah, it's a full moon.
Okay.
And the moon's just going around in circles in the sky in this video. And it's kind of, and the sky is kind of like a twilight. I don't know. Yeah.
I just found it interesting. So, you know, I think we're just going to dig on it more, and just anyone out there claiming stuff. And, you know, I even said last week, people say I'm not claiming stuff. Well, I don't know. It kind of is coming off like people are just getting too accusatory. I'm no master of anything, but I mean, it's kind of easy for me to see, like, hey, what y'all talking about? This is way too early. And then even on a show yesterday, I got, you know, someone's like, but what about the Vapegate? Like, what am I supposed to say? That I don't think Witch is a straight shooter? I do think he's a straight shooter that would not be trying, I don't know, to hoax us all with something, and, oh, they'll never see me hit this vape behind the corner and I'll just lie to them. Like, that is nonsense to me. Don't even want to entertain that. But it's just progress. We're all just still chugging along and figuring stuff out. Just weird how stuff's going down. And yeah, Vapegate. I find it, you know, it's just weird.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. People are making wild assumptions. They're assuming that when he puts his hands to his face, he's putting a vape in his mouth, but it doesn't show anything clearly. He could be drinking
Yeah, and
water.
I watched.
He could be putting his sunglasses on, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched that one live stream live when someone said something about oh, we don't see your breath, and he's like, oh, let me see whatever, and then the breath came out. I didn't remember thinking oh, it looks like he was concocting something right there, like he's lying to us. It's an interesting thing. But then even I do have someone from our local group who sent me that Dubé video and said, I don't know, it looks pretty conclusive to me. Let me know what you think. It's just a weird time we're in,
Yeah.
Yes, totally. But hey, I wasn't going to hang on too long. Karen, thank you for taking my call. Peace out, everyone.
All right. Thanks for calling.
All right, later.
We should see its approach in an eclipse too through some kind of solar lens. Well, I don't know, because when you put the solar lens on, it blocks 99.9% of the light, and so the only thing you see is the disk of the sun. So I don't agree that a solar lens should show the moon approaching, because you're blocking 99.9% of the light. There could be some sort of light spectrum that we're not thinking of, or that we don't have filters for, or that nobody's tried, that could make it so you could see that. But just a straight up white light solar filter is not going to show you the moon approaching the sun. It's just not. Hello, Mark Sargent. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hi, my snake sister, my fire snake sister.
Hello?
How are you doing today? Hi, can you hear me?
Sorta.
No? No, it's fine. You should be fine. Can you hear me better now?
I guess. What's up?
I mean, I can try to call back if you can't really hear me.
Oh, it just has a weird tone to it.
Yeah, let me try to call back. I'll call right back.
Okay. Yeah, hydrogen alpha. I don't know if a hydrogen alpha... I don't know. I didn't even ask if... I know Crow said he was supposed to be looking at the solar... Did Crow film the eclipse with his hydrogen alpha, or did he say he didn't have viewing that day? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
This better?
A little bit.
Good enough for us to have a conversation at least?
Yeah, what's up?
I was just saying hi, my fire snake sister. Shout out to Tony Coriolis. He's like a voice of reason. Yeah, he always brings up salient points. But the thing is, Karen, people are fucking idiots, man. Like, I hate to not pointing fingers at anyone in particular, but people always interpret things according to their own understanding and dismiss everything else out there that may be another answer for what you're observing. But if they can't fit it in their minds, they just dismiss it or attack it outright. Like, this is the cycle of mankind. Like, people come together based off of an ideal, shall we say, right? They come together in this group and say, hey, we are like-minded. And then as that group continues along, individual personality conflicts come into play, and then they start to fragment along those same lines. And this is nothing new, right? Because everybody thinks that the way that they perceive creation is the only way to see it. And that's not the fucking way it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's not subjective, it's objective. So you can sit here and argue about it all day long, but at the end of the day, no one has the correct answer. We are all trying to find the answer. The only one who did is the creator. And he didn't tell us everything. It's like he gave us just enough information for those of us that are so inclined to be curious about things and ask questions. But to think that you know how this shit works is fucking stupid, because you don't. And just get that through your head first, and then try to, see where you fit into these things. Right? Like, you were saying that the not seeing the seeing the 24-hour sun in Antarctica would be a great thing for flat Earth, and I agree with you, because it's what's the word I'm looking for here? It interjects an idea that no one had really considered for how things actually work, because we like to use logic and science to determine how creation works, and that is not how creation works. I mean, to a degree, we should be just happy that it fucking works to begin with. Imagine if we lived in a creation that it sputters out every now and then. You're like, what the hell is he thinking? No, it works perfectly fine. Just be happy with it, and then try to study things as it relates to you. But shout out to Tony Corres, and shout out to the guy that called earlier that was talking about the scriptures, because that is so important. I say this all the time. The scriptures are the basis of your reality. Even though it's rather weird that people who read the book of Genesis, right? You notice that it never says that he created water?
Mm-hmm.
How is that? And it's only in the book of Genesis, right? There's other places where it does imply that, but it does not say in the book of Genesis that he created water. Why is that? It was already there.
Well, it said it was the formless deep.
It said his spirit moved upon the face of the deep. The water was already there.
Mm-hmm.
And then his first act of creation was creating life. Well, I mean, you can logically infer that he created water, right? But it doesn't say that.
True.
So it's something to think about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other things, did Adam and Eve have belly buttons? What do you think?
Wait, we have what button? What did you say? I kind of couldn't hear you.
Did Adam and Eve have belly buttons?
Oh, did Adam and Eve have belly buttons? Oh, I don't know.
Well, it's a funny thing to think about, right?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't born, so why would they have them? But then there's people that, since they have to squeeze everything into something that looks like them, they would say, yes, they had belly buttons. But if they weren't born, then why would they have them?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just head scratchers. It's just head scratchers, Carrie. That's what I'm saying. These are things that are, like, fun to entertain and think about that nobody really talks about, because they're too busy trying to make creation fit their understanding of what it should be. When, like, first of all, you didn't create shit. So why do I care what your opinion of it is? When you create something, then you can give me your opinion on what it is you created, and I would have to believe you. But for now, you didn't create none of this shit. We all trying to figure it out together. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
All
People
right.
are idiots, Karen. It's the unfortunate reality.
Yeah. Can't disagree.
I have a good one.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye. Pull out the Bible. Would we even know? How would we even prove that they had belly buttons? Okay, let me watch this. Let me watch this guy's version of the faking Antarctica. Is this the one? Episode 1, and then there's episode 3. What happened to episode 2?
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to do a really quick video on the final experiment. Aside of all the green screen glitches, the chroma key mistakes, all the stuff that's been pointed out in this whole bullcrap experiment, Mr. Witsit himself is the one who actually puts the nail in the coffin to the fakery. Now, here's what I mean. Check it out. When you see someone who is really working in Antarctica in December, this is what their breath looks like. So when Whitsit is doing his...
Wait a minute, how do I know that guy's in Antarctica? Show me the original link to the video where that's a guy who's objectively in Antarctica. Okay, first criticism
live
there.
stream video, someone asked him, why can't I see your breath if you're in Antarctica?
It's so bright. Why isn't your breath on? It's not so hard as it was a second ago. It's kind of fuzzy right now. But right before I started the stream, I tested it, so I knew you guys were going to say that. And my breath was like super foggy earlier, but it's not really foggy right now.
Probably because he came right out of the inside, where it's a different...
It's super dry here. That's why my lips are super chapped. It's not even windy, my lips are super chapped. Just pick up some snow.
God, how fucking slow does this go?
That's a terrible suggestion. I'll be right back and grab some gloves and I'll pick up some. I'm gonna play her song again while going here so no one else maybe says something they don't want on stream on my headphones. I'm gonna go grab my gloves. It's a good idea, Jimmy.
Okay, so he turns the camera off because he's worried about what somebody's going to say on the live stream, supposedly while he's gone to get his gloves. Now let's look at the footage where he goes to get his gloves before he comes back and turns the camera on. Okay, let me hit play. There's Whitsit right here, coming out of the shed. Now he walks back over. Now his camera's right on top of this funny looking thing here with the blue thing. And
looks like he's taking a sip of something.
So let's zoom in. Now notice before he turns the camera on, he squats down and hitting the vape. You can see the little smoke coming out of the vape. He then reaches up, turns the camera back on, and blows out his vape. Check it out.
There's a little breath. What's up now?
Put your stupid music.
Now, when a liar is being a liar, they're very sarcastic about it. That's why he says, "What's up now?"
What's up now?
No, but that doesn't match how the video went. One breath is even weirder than no breath. Please just own it, Whitsit. Oh my god. I lived in Colorado for 20 years. There are days where you could not see your breath in cold temperatures. It happens. This does not mean that the team was bought off. TikTok truth shit, right? Like, I think he's just doing creative editing. Because another guy showed this video along with the 360 video, and then there's something not right here. Something's not right. I had cabin off Hoosier Pass, almost 1100. Yeah. Address Dubé's video? Oh my god. No, please don't. This is as real as the moon landing? Oh my god. We don't even know that that's a vape. Listen. When people vape, way more smoke comes out than that. Seriously. Let's look at this. Come on. When people vape, way more stuff comes out than that. So it doesn't look like a vape to me. Let's see. I don't know, he could be cleaning some stuff off of his face. I just don't see enough stuff there to make it look like it's a vape. So like now, if I go... So here, look at how much smoke comes out. Well, that's saying it's out. I need to find somebody hitting a vape. What kind of dipshit vape short is this where you can't even see somebody hitting a vape? Vaping gave us cancer, stop vaping. Anyway, whatever. Way more smoke comes out when like that when you're vaping. Who fucking cares? So I think there are issues with the sun. Yep, it's squished and McToon's shadow pivots really fast. That's because he used that 360, Insta 360, which 360 cameras have a lot of distortion. I don't even think Austin vapes. No, but I don't know. I also don't know. No, I didn't see it that way. I vape, a mouth draw gets a little bit vape, lung draw gets big clouds. PK, isn't there a correlation between humidity, temperature, and being able to see breath? Yes. I just don't care what you people believe anymore. I'm just so over it. I'm so over it. I'm over it. And I don't care what Mr. Flat Out Truth said. Blah, blah, blah. I have a deep voice and then it makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. But really, I just make a bunch of suggestive bullshit videos. Yeah, I don't really care what that guy says. I don't care what Eric Duguay says. I don't care what anybody says. I just don't. Where's the drone video? I want to see drone video. Who released drone video? I thought he had a drone, no? 360 time lapse catching the sun in Antarctica. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Karen B, what's up? It's TK. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I couldn't agree with you more. This kind of is sad to see. A bunch of freaking retards. Won't call anyone out, but watching some people, it's like, oh my god, how are you like that dumb? You're dumb, and it's crazy. So, but what I want to pick your brain a little bit, because no one seems to be asking the tough questions, and I have my first tough question for you is, what exactly is a chong?
A chong? Like Cheech and Chong.
Ah.
Like
okay.
Chong from Cheech and Chong. Like
Yep.
the
Yep.
two Mexican stoners.
Okay. Okay. I get it. Next, more serious question is, can't we, okay, follow me with logic here and let me know what you think. So, I'm here in Florida, and I can see when the sun sets, and then, like, when it becomes night. Then I can either call someone or go online to, like, a live, webcam in California at the beach and see when the sun sets there. And then from that, if I do know the distance from where I am to where the sun set over there, can we not somewhat estimate the distance that the sun traveled in a given period of time?
I guess.
And so, like, I know, like, the light does crazy stuff, like you mentioned earlier. Totally on board with that. The camera obscura thing, super interesting. So a bunch of light does very funny things. But I feel like, we can sort of see the orb in the sky that we call the sun and kind of measure out the distance it travels. So then, if I can estimate that time and the distance that it traveled from me to California, then could I not extrapolate further and measure it to when it rises? And I could sort of guess at the distance that the sun traveled to, go away from sight to then come back to me.
Yeah.
That's not, like, beyond unreasonable, right?
No.
So then, all this crap that it seems everyone just wants to talk about is, like, is this shit fake or not? But why I think the discussion should be seeing a 24-hour sun down there, do that. And then why it gets so funny, though, in the southern hemisphere, because it's like, I guess New Zealand was one, and Australia, right, that we can kind of do the same logic that I just went through and kind of calculate their sunrise, their sunsets, that distance. And then, so seeing the sun, I know, like, I'm totally on board, and I agree that it doesn't, like I said, there could be light, crazy phenomena going on that we just, can't explain or whatever. But I feel like that is, I don't know, to me it's fun, this pursuit of truth, and to just, like, stop shy and be like, but it's just something we can't explain. I feel like there is some things that we can think about and put on the table. And sort of that experiment that I went through, or observation, whatever, that I went through earlier. I mean, could we not do the same sort of with the South? And then I'm very curious about sunspots. I want to see what they look like, into New Zealand, to what they have in Antarctica. I want to see how it flips, how it turns, how it rotates. Can we glean something, out of that? What are your thoughts on the sunspots?
Yeah, I would like to see the solar filter pictures too. But I don't know that that's really going to prove anything either, though,
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think it will prove anything. I think it will be interesting to just know what it does. It's like, oh, well, this sunspot pictures in Antarctica are then flipped, 180 degrees or whatever it ends up being to these ones in New Zealand. So I just think that will be a very interesting piece of data, I don't think it will prove anything. I think it will may raise more questions, actually, but be fun to go down that rabbit hole nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another thing, but I forget. Maybe I'll remember. But I did want to mention one more thing. I think I caught. Did you do Coffee Talk last week?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I didn't catch it live, but I think I caught some of it do you remember, did you pull up Stellarium on that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I think I did.
I thought so. And so, do you have the desktop app?
No, I use the web version. I haven't installed it on this computer. I had it installed on one of my older computers, and then I have the app that goes on the cell phone.
Right. So yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I saw you on the web app. I would highly recommend getting the desktop app. There's so many more features in it. To me, it's just more intuitive and easy to see.
Yeah, I remember really liking.
Stuff like that.
I really have liked Stellarium in the past. I probably will install it eventually. I just have to take the time to do it.
Yeah, and then so one thing I did, I just want to describe a little bit more. We talked about it a few weeks ago maybe, but I pulled up with the desktop app, opened up 2 instances of the program, and I had them side by side. And say the one on the left, the instance of Stellarium on the left, I would go to like 40 degrees north latitude, and then the instance on the right, I would go to like 40 degrees south latitude, and I would keep the same longitude. Okay. And then what was cool about that, then what I did was I faced north on the left instance, the one that is at 40 degrees north, and then I faced south on the other one, which was located at 40 degrees south. And it was very, I thought, interesting to see, because some of the stars, it looks like, so I turned off all constellation art and everything so I could like kind of just see stars. And I know this is all math, it's not reality, the program, blah, blah, blah. But what was interesting is that there did seem to be patterns, and the stars in the south seemed to be kind of more spread out. Like it looked like it wasn't too far-fetched to see some sort of, I'm not saying like a total like mirror, but there's some sort of like the stars in the south and were like expanded sites, expanded versions of what was in the north.
Yeah, I've heard some people say that they think the stars are mirrored in the south, and I've looked at it, but I didn't really see it. To me, they didn't look similar enough that I could call it a mirroring effect. But that's just.
And it's hard to even see unless you. I recommend, if anyone's curious about it a little bit more and wants to look at it themselves. I'm at no conclusions either, but what I just laid out was a good experiment. I felt like to see what was going on. And the other thing about the South and how they said like Antarctica, if you kept going inland, you keep raising elevation, right? Mm-hmm. So that's very interesting if you think about the North and the South. Even like esoterically, it's like, you know, the North is the way we come in and South is the way we leave. Well, it's like the South has this, like, even think about it magnetism wise, South is like everything's kind of pushing out. So it would kind of make sense if land or Earth was like pushing out in the South, right? So it's like essentially ice on a big, I don't know, piece of land or mountain or something. Mm-hmm. You know, how it's all pushing out. So yeah, just something I thought about with this whole talk here, but I think that might be all I got for you, except the one part of the video that you missed here that is so retarded, but is the dude pulls up a picture of a mountain in 2016 or something from Google. And then he shows the video of like Will Duffy and the mountain behind him. And he's like, look, it's the same mountain. It's like, no shit, dude, it's the same mountain. But he's putting forward that it is this picture from 2016 that is like overlaid on the background. like literally the same picture or mountain, and he's like, because the ice all looks the same and blah blah blah. It's sad to see this sort of I don't know unintelligence going on, but that was one thing I think it might be worth. I saw you turned off the video before you got to that part, so I just wanted to mention that.
What do you mean?
Were you familiar with that?
Which video?
The one of the like southern dude with the deep voice.
Oh yeah.
That one. He pulls up. He does this mountain thing where.
Oh yeah.
He's like, y'all better download it before they take it off. Like,
right.
Come on, dude. Yeah, it's pretty rough. But that's all I got. Thanks for taking my call, and download you that desktop Stellarium app. Do it.
Yeah, I might do that.
All right. Thanks, Karen.
All right. Yeah.
Talk soon.
Thanks
All
for
right.
calling.
Bye.
Bye. I want to get to the part where Witsit's doing his live stream. What are these guys doing over here? It's so funny when you see him come out of the little box and start running around. The time-lapse video is kind of entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. So there's... So you can see this is Jaren and Witsit. And there's McToon and Duffy. McToon and Duffy. Magoon. And it's windy. You can see it's windy. Their little books are flapping around right here. But remember, they had like 30 hours of pretty decent weather when they first showed up, so that's cool. This guy's funny walking around with a hood over him. I think that's the guy who was doing the whatchamacallit, the documentary, allegedly. Where's the part with Witsit? Oh, there's still some time left. Hold on. Is that Witsit? So that looks like Witsit doing his stream, so I'm going to slow it down. And he's takes his laptop, walks around. Is this the same stream? That was the producer guy coming in. Was that when he did the ice thing? There's Mark, the producer guy again. Now he's walking around, showing that it's really Antarctica, and he puts the thing back down, goes inside. Okay, so here, let's see, Okay, so this is where he goes back inside. How are these guys getting... Then he does the snow, right? Comes out, goes over here, does the snow. Where's that little part where he's supposedly crouching down and hitting a vape? Oh, right here. Was he live streaming at this point? But you notice how that's a totally different time? That's a totally different time. So clearly, Tara Archer is just making shit up with crafty editing. That's not even around the same time. You have a group of rock chicks who are taking you to Seattle? That's nice, Mark. Congrats, Jeff Peterson. 36th winning anniversary. Yes, very nice, sir. Very nice. Happy anniversary to you and your wife. Does everyone agree that Terry and Whitsett are both good guys? I agree that Whitsett is a good guy. I am not so sure about this Terry person. I've found deception in some of his videos, and I'm sorry, that's just where I'm at. I don't trust that guy. I think he stretches and he makes fallacious claims. Like, you know, I even used one of his videos in when I talked about no giant trees in the Bible or the Book of Enoch. Like, there's nothing in scripture that says that there were these huge, ginormous giant trees the size of mountains, right? There's nothing in there that describes it that way. And I even went over a video where he clearly is misinterpreting and using suggestive speak to make people think, oh, there were giants in those days and giant trees. The giants were climbing the giant trees, but actually the trees are not described as giant. And the only two times where a giant tree is spoken of, they're both allegorical. One is in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, and one is comparing the Syrians' power as a tree that covers all nations. So, I'm sorry, I do not particularly trust that creator. Day 2 of fasting. Wish me luck. Oh my gosh, commercial sound and video. You know what's funny is me and Ted are starting a fast today too. How funny. My dad bod is off the rails. I'm ready to start lifting again. Goal is to arm wrestle Ted. Well, sir. Overall, I'm very glad I didn't go, says Mark Sargent. First, because it looked miserable, especially considering the cost to go. Second, because I have a feeling some people here would have attacked anyone, even our host. Yeah, they're attacking everybody. Everybody's pissed off that they didn't go down there and hammer the globe out of existence for good once and for all. Well, the publicity from this still applies. Once the dust settles, it will push the narrative forward. Until then, there will be a lot of chaotic content, and well, content is content, I guess. Most of it's drivel. I can't even watch hardly any of it. Alex Stein talks about Effie often and is close with Candace Owens. Alex Stein is close with Candace Owens? Are you kidding me? Actually, Witsit's going to be on the Candace Owens show because that producer, Mark Herman, is the Candace Owens producer, and he went to Antarctica, and he will be there with, debunked right there, exactly. I am proud of Alex for getting Witsit on the Tim Pool show, even though I don't like Alex Stein, and I also don't like Tim Pool. But whatever. It's the same time idiots don't like me pointing this out. Gotta time me out. It's not flat. Okay, if you say so, bro. I like and hate fasting, but my body needs a little fine-tuning. Yeah. It's been a while since I've fasted. I'm gonna have a hard time this time. I'm probably, you know, I'm probably gonna have a hard time. Okay, whatever. Joe Davenport, if you want to believe it's not flat, there's mountains and hills and valleys and rivers and all sorts of different textures. I mean, it's obviously not flat like a table, but the earth is level. It's a level plane. It doesn't go around like a ball because we can't ever find this curvature. We can't measure this curvature. And the size and shape that they say that the ball is, we should be able to see this. It should be obvious because actually it's not that big. Hey, hello to the UK. Witsit and McTroll. Yeah, yes, Witsit and McToon will be on Candace. Which is fine because McToon will look like the douchebag that he is, and Witsit will look the same as he always does, which is much better than McToon looks. All right. So, well, we figured out what was going on with that. So yeah, he was like already outside for a long time when he did that thing. It's not from right when he comes inside. So yeah, creative editing. You see what these people do with their videos? They just anything they can do to get clicks and content. They don't care if it's true. They don't care, you know, what trouble they cause for people. They're just like, yeah, click on my video. Yeah, I know the truth. Click on my video. It's hard to imitate that guy because his voice is actually really deep. Had to get through the holidays, right? I know. McToon in Minneapolis, fresh off Antarctic spree for FE meetup with shaking hands. Really? Is he really starting to like travel around and go to the flat earth meetups? That's hilarious. Disturbingly sexy. That's funny. When I talk like a man. Yeah, check. There's no timestamps on the video. Look, there's no timestamp on the video. You just gotta watch it like I just did. You basically just gotta watch it like I just did. And you can clearly see that he chopped that part out. He's like, oh, here, this looks like where I could make Witsit look like he was vaping in the video. And he's just hoping that nobody will come over here and actually go back and check. Like I just did. I checked. Went from too dry to see breath to Austin doesn't vape to what does it matter if he lied to us. I never said what does it matter if he lied to us, because I don't think he lied. That's the problem. I didn't say who cares if he lied, because I don't think that he lied. So don't put words in my mouth. Carrie, Skates. Yeah, man. Because it gets clicks on their video. They get subscribers. People subscribe to their video and share it. Listen, people share it without even doing any investigation. That's what I'm saying. That's why people do this that's why these channels that put out all these clickbaity videos time after time again, you think they're doing all this stellar research? No, they're making clickbait suggestive videos that show a very biased point of view on something, and then they put their very good narration over it with some fancy music. And then everybody's like, yeah, man, it's the truth. That's literally what happens. It's funny. Check your Skype chat. McToon pics from Minnesota meetup. He was checking the temperature of FE to see if any was in panic mode. They were not. Ha 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 ha. That's right. Let me see. Oh my god, this is hilarious. Hold on. I want to save this so I can zoom in on how happy the FE'er's looking. McToon looks dejected back there in the background. That's freaking hilarious. Look. Look at, there's Jenny and David smiling. Look at McToon. Nobody's mad. Nobody's mad. Oh, that's funny. Thank you for sending me that, Mark Sargent. Oh, wait, there's more. Okay, well, this one he doesn't look so bad. Let me show this one. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Karen, it's Chris Berry.
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Do you remember meeting me at the Dallas, I forget what it's called, not the meetup, but the Dallas conference?
The FEIC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
That's okay if you didn't. I know it's been a while. That was cool. Anyways, I was just calling to say, hey, I was listening. I don't really have a ton to talk about, I guess. Just checking in. I think that there's a 24-hour sun now. I do think they went. I think people who say they didn't or faked it it's just part of the conspiratorial nature, I guess, of being a flat earther, right? Like, we all came from some other conspiracy, 9/11, moon hoax, right, whatever, like, plus. So I think it's okay people are skeptical, but I think people are going to such lengths to try and claim that it's fake when it's clearly not. It's just making us all look pretty bad, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
So, anyways, I guess I don't have a ton else to say. I'm still flat. The 24-hour sun. It would have been, like, how nice would it, I think even was it Witsit saying it or some others, like, I've heard, like, how nice would it have been if there wasn't a 24-hour sun? It would have put this whole thing to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And now if there is, we just have to deal with it, unfortunately, right? Like, none of us want to deal with it. We all wanted there to not be a 24-hour sun.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, oh, look, it's 100% without a doubt flat and motionless, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it is there, yeah, okay, fine, we have to deal with it. It doesn't take away, for anyone who's coping with this, it doesn't take away we see too far. It doesn't take away there's no motion, right? It doesn't take away 9, and for some of you all, 10, 11 years of data points. This is one data point that, by the way, the globe already said this was going to happen. So what is this to them? This is nothing to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for us, it's just an extra data point we have to account for, whether it's accounted for in Joe Hannity's model or the Stephen Alonso guy who's got a new digital or virtual whatever flat earth dome type model that I think he kind of borrowed the base from Walter Bislin,
Mm-hmm.
but he says it's more advanced. Walter Bislin, he said, has 2,000 lines of code. His is 20,000 or something like that, he says. I don't know if that's true or I haven't fact-checked it. But I'm just, to all the FE acolytes out there, you know, don't lose hope. Don't let one data point ruin your day. We've got dozens and dozens of data points that we've all looked at and said, look, if the sky, maybe there's some roundness to the sky, right? Or like, again, it presents as a dome, whatever. That's kind of a round thing. But we all know the ground is flat, right? It's a horizontal plane. Yes, there's elevation changes with hills, valleys, and mountains, people like to claim. But it's horizontal from end to end as far as I can tell, and it's motionless as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It certainly makes it interesting, doesn't it? Like for me, I was just like, wow, the sun does go around you in the poles. That's crazy. I wonder how that works.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm not saying it's an easy task, right? But it's like, think of it this way, the way I think of it. When I first got into Flat Earth, every Glober, every time they started a conversation with you, they would say, this, such and such, is impossible on a Flat Earth. And then we think about it. And then we figure it out, right? Like, for example, sunset is impossible on a flat Earth. We were told 10 years ago. Well, Rob Skiba was the first that I saw. I'm not sure if he's the first to ever do it, but he was the first I saw put a video out that showed using the lens and then on a flat table and pulling it back, and it looks exactly like a sunset. Wow, what do you know? And if you account for atmospheric refraction and effects, maybe that's partly, if not the only reason that it's doing that. So every time they say this is impossible on a flat Earth, we've always come up with solutions. So I've never veered away from them saying, oh, this is impossible. Every on a flat Earth, but we know that that's not true.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of ways that it could work. You know, I don't know that we'll ever know with certainty what the mechanics of that is. But yeah, it's not the end of flat Earth. And it's funny because there's a guy in my chat. He's like, "There's no globe. It proves the Earth is a ball. Deal with it." And it's like, boy, no, no.
No, but even a lot of Globers say that's not true. I was watching a debate the other day with, who was it? Oh, Angel. I think his name's Angel. He's like a TikTok now or something. He's like a new FE as far as on modern day debate. And the Glober debating said, yeah, this doesn't prove a globe. I'm like, great, it doesn't. Thanks. Like, debate's over. What are you talking about? Why is there even a debate? The Globers are even admitting it doesn't prove it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, the Globers are going to cope. The Globers are coping harder than the Flat Earthers are. The ones who aren't admitting it's not proof of a globe. Is it a data point? Is it 1 point piece of evidence for the globe model? Yes. I guess you could say yes, fine. It doesn't prove it's a globe. It doesn't prove we're spinning. None of that stuff. So, Earth's still flat. Earth's still motionless. 10 years of data isn't refuted by one data point that is seemingly, a challenge. That's all I'd have to say. So I'll say that. I'll leave it there. I'll let you go. Good talking with you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for calling.
All right. See you. Take care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye. Yeah, I actually do remember that guy. It's been around a while since I've seen him around, but I do remember you. Do you have Cash App? Yeah, I have Cash App. I have Cash App. I am... It's the $ Karen BFE. If you want, if you feel so inclined. Appreciate that. Mark Sargent, effed up world. Sadly, that is more true now than ever. Look at Paul Brothers, a great example. I don't know what you're referring to. Any publicity is good publicity, yeah. Water for me. Ongoing investigation. Yeah. Antarctic sun has nothing to do with gravity, the curve, every space program, and on and on. I have received 0 emails from anyone even thinking about leaving FE. I never lost a minute of sleep. Yeah, neither did I. I did see some people on Facebook complaining about, this one person, not some people, one person, I wasted so much time talking about it and now it's wrong, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, hasta la vista. Time the movement of the shadow of the bin in your last current clip. It doesn't move. What? I don't know what that means. We could have checked the FE Clock app for their blue balls. Did anyone do that? I did not. I don't know if anybody did or not. I did not, so I don't know. I was watching the tracking on the website that showed them going there. "10 years of FE data does not refute thousands of years of globe data." Where are you getting this thousands of years stuff? It's not thousands of years. It's thousands of years that people have been confused about what the sky does and Earth. I can understand now why the ancient maps have the polar projections, because the sky is weird compared to the Earth. It is weird, and they had to reconcile it somehow to allow for navigation from landmass to landmass in ancient times, and they used the sky to navigate. So to me, now I can see why, even though back before they were calling, they were saying that Earth was a ball and it was just the Earth. Leo Slayer says the FE Clock app location tracking was down during that time they were in Antarctica. Really? I don't know. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello. This is Joel.
Hello?
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to ask, is it okay if, a Glober calls into your show?
I guess so. Are you a Glober?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you were just talking about, navigation.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of I wanted to respond.
Okay.
If that's okay. Because I wrote a post on metabunk.org about flat Earth and navigation, and I never really discussed it with flat Earthers, but I was kind of wanting to know if you are willing to take a look at it and respond to it.
Okay. I can try. What is it? Where do you have it at?
It's on the forum of metabunk.org.
They have
a flat Earth section.
Yeah.
And I wrote a post there about celestial navigation and the flat Earth. So the thing is, I've been watching flat Earth content for a long time, and in a strange way, I do feel a little bit connected to the whole community, although I don't believe that the Earth is flat.
Okay.
But yeah, I do watch the content, and I do empathize with, wanting to figure things out for yourself, and wanting to see things for yourself, and all of that. So that's why I'm interested in it.
Okay.
So.
I'm trying to find your thread.
I had to turn off the sound, but did you find the post? Yeah, that's it.
Is this
that's
it?
The post
from April of 2022? Is that how old it is?
Yeah, it was a while ago. And so the point is, I heard a lot of people talking about navigation, and so using celestial navigation, you can also calculate distances, right? And I was curious to know, like, if you can, respond to the to my post, basically. What do you think about it?
Okay. Do you want me to look at it right now and go through it? It's kind of late. I might have to do it next Monday.
Yeah. All right. Maybe we can do that. You take a look at it, and then on your next show, maybe you can say what you think about it.
Yeah. But this is right. ISQweb. Is that what you're? Is that you? This is you. I'm looking at the right one though. Can you see it on my screen?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
And it was obviously made in response to like flat Earth debate stuff. I don't know if you agree with them or not, but they promoted this formula a while ago that how you can calculate distances based on star positions, and I agree you can do that, and I would say those distances are not consistent with the Earth being flat.
Okay.
So that's kind of an enigma right there.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I will look into it, and like I said, it is kind of late today, but I will look at it, and we'll talk. I can probably talk. We could probably talk about this next Monday. This is all good.
All right.
Good stuff to look at. Sure.
Okay.
What's your name?
Well, Joel.
Joel. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So thanks for letting me call in, and hope to hear a response sometime.
Okay. Sure. Thanks for calling.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Bye. They weren't in the studio. It's just conspiracy garbage. Oh boy, we still doing that again? I'm just tuning in. Is this final experiment is BS, right? What do you mean? The creator knows if humans find a wall, we will not rest until we get to the other side. Story of Nimrod. That's why I think it's just made so completely uninviting and harsh and cold and treacherous that people just don't want to go that way. Joe is always the smartest guy in the spiraling room. Austin vaping is the biggest nail in the coffin, but he's not vaping. I just went over that. I just debunked that. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Karen, this is Mike New. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. You're a little muffled.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a Bluetooth on. Hold on, let me switch. No, I just wanted to make a comment real quick.
Okay, that sounds good.
With the whole Witsit Jeranism debacle, it's, like on the Owen live stream, it doesn't really matter. None of this matters. We're still exploring, we're still learning, we're still trying to figure things out. So everything else is just a big psyop. There's no reason to debate with somebody like, oh, he's smoking a vape, or they didn't really go there, or he's controlled opposition. It doesn't matter. We're still just trying to figure things out.
Yeah, but I just think people are reaching, though. It's like they're trying so hard to make it fake so they can hold on to that idea that the sun might not be going around you in Antarctica.
Yeah, it seems like it's just a bigger thing going on where, I don't know if it's like when I say controlled opposition, it's like they're trying to get everybody to fight with each other. Because we were already exploring, figuring things out. We had a model. I don't mean to say we, but there was a model to explain how a flat Earth works, and it still makes a lot more sense than everything else that's been presented to us.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be people angry about it. People are getting way too emotional.
Yeah.
And I think that basically people don't like to not know things. People feel like they always need to understand what it is. Can you not just be okay with not knowing? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay not knowing some stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the best position to be in. It's just, you don't know, it's okay. Keep an open mind, keep looking, and, stop yelling at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, with Jeranism and Witsit, their integrity is solid. There's nothing that they've ever presented about anything of their character they would never lie. I put my money on that. I've been following them since 2019.
Yeah, I've seen them both admit being wrong more than once, so.
Yeah, and that's your sign right there. It's like if they can admit to being wrong and, show that with good character, it's like, why would you think they're lying?
Yeah, I don't know.
But hey, that's all I had to say. I appreciate your show. Let me let you go.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Karen.
Bye. What's it said he's doing all this for his children? I bet they don't have to work a day in their life now. Oh, come on. Jaren set FE back to the last time he set FE back. I don't get how he's setting FE back by being honest. If you guys want to believe all that, I don't know. I can't stop you. Karen, you've been very emo about this. I have not. And by the way, when I got on that other stream the other night and I yelled at Timu Chong, I had been drinking. I was a little bit inebriated. So that was not under normal Karen circumstances. Hey Reed Milnes, thank you. Shout out to you. Good to see you in chat. They were on a glacier, yeah. A friend and I are currently investigating the personal dome theory. I'm determined. Yeah, the personal dome theory. There's times where I keep going back and forth. Like, maybe the only reason that we even see the sun and the moon and the stars is because our physical bodies have the receptors to see it. Like, if your receptors weren't working, you wouldn't see it, right? So you wouldn't know what the sky or the sun or anything was doing. It's really weird. It's like that question is like, if a tree falls in the forest, well, does it really make it sound? Well, does the sun go around in the sky if there's nobody there to watch it? I don't know. You know what I mean? How, like, people think that and this is sort of a weird kind of a philosophical thought, I guess. Not really scientific, but it's like, how people say if humans all cease to exist, like suddenly, then the Earth would thrive, it would go on, it would be just fine. But would the Earth exist if humans weren't here? I mean, would it? How would you know? Would everything cease to exist if humans didn't exist? I mean, I don't know. It's just weird to think about. So maybe, you know, would the sun go around in the sky if you weren't there to look at it? I don't know. There is no 24-hour sun in the South. Okay, like, but, you know, but this isn't a secret. This is something that has been talked about for a long, long time. So it's not like it's a new idea that the sun does a 24-hour circle in Antarctica. I would have brutal truth rather than everyone trying to deceive each other like Eric did with his cherry picking and editing. Yeah. Thought form consciousness spark deterioration, yeah. Philosophical AF. Jill the Pill says, does Karen have a brain if I haven't seen it? I don't know. Do you have a brain if I haven't seen it? You always come in here and say the dumbest shit. This is a physical plane, so when a tree falls, it will make a sound regardless who is listening or not. That's what I tend to think as well. And I also feel like where we live is very, you know, like I kind of agree with Marty Leeds, where he's talking about like up there is the metaphysical. Down here is the physical. We're on the 3D physical plane, yet we are living in this really strange, beautiful, magical place where the physical intermingles with the metaphysical all the time. So we live in a place where there's metaphysical things happening and physical things happening. And everybody is super fixated on the physical because it's what you can see. It's always in your face. And it's just always, it's ever present. It's undeniable, right? But people don't ever, you know, a lot of people don't take the time to consider or think about or contemplate the metaphysical. There is way more unseen forces in this realm than there are seen forces. And that's just a fact. And it's kind of trippy to think about. And I think that's why, you know, it can get very sort of, it can get that thought and that sort of, if you walk down that road, it can become very overwhelming. And I think a lot of people then they want to default to, oh, it's a simulation, or oh, it's this, or oh, it's that, because it's easier to think about. It's easier than literally trying to comprehend the fucking creation, that a divine being that you don't know who it is, what they look like, or even if you could even live through seeing this divine being manifest itself in front of you. If anybody reads scripture, they talk about that it's so intense that where the creator is up on this mountain, the light is so intense, the sound is so intense, there everybody's like, Moses, you go, because we'll die if we go up there, right? Like, it's like, I don't even think, you know, do people even think about this, or do people just spend so much time trying to quantify the creation so that they can not think about the creator, or not think about there being a higher being, or higher whatever it is, the Most High, who made all of this, you know? So this is like why sometimes I think we're never gonna know 100% what this place is. I really don't think we're ever gonna know. I think that's why the battle has been going on for so long. Because if you look at all of the data and all the information, and you, as a simple mortal human being, try to make sense of the workings of an immortal, all-seeing, all-knowing, divine being, you're never going to understand it. At least not in this physical form. Maybe not. You might not ever freaking know. We may not ever know. And you know what? I think everybody might save themselves a lot of trouble if they just stash that thought in the back of your mind. You might not ever know shit. You might die never knowing. And then when you maybe go to the spirit world or to the metaphysical realm, maybe then you'll get some understanding of what this place is and where you just were. What is that saying? Hindsight's 20/20? I don't know. But I don't think it's worth arguing over, and I don't think our friends are lying. I just don't. And maybe you guys do, maybe some of you think they are. You can think whatever you want. But I just think it's just, the ether and the physical, or the ether is what the physical manifests from. I mean, the ether manifests the physical and the non-physical. So then if there was no atmosphere, we would not hear the free fall? Pullinger's Jew card. Well, somebody said that the tracking wasn't working there, so I don't know. There was some problems with that app. I don't really want to get into it. Even a half-truth is a really great lie. Absolutely concur regarding the existence of the metaphysical being right here with you right now. Yeah. The north is the center in the Garden of Eden, the headstream of 4 rivers, oceans. I mean, it could be. I would really like to see what's at 90 degrees north. I know that they take people south all the time, but there's no north. Where's all the North Pole expeditions? Actually, let's look right now. I mean, that's where we saw that there was land before that they literally erased off the map. Everybody talks about hidden land. Dude, we watched them erase it off the maps over the course of the last 500 years. So, Arctic No, I don't want to look at past Arctic. See, look! 1595. This map. And it's so detailed, too. Pygmy, hic habitant, if you start decoding this or trying to translate some of this map, it talks about pygmies live here. Insula is island. There's like a green island, and this one says Oceanus 19 openings. This one talks about the 19 openings, and if you go and you count all these little openings, there's 19, right? So right here, Oceanus 19. I have to go find my docs where I've spent time translating this, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So this is a pretty detailed map for it to just not be there now. So what's going on here? Why are there 2 magnetic mountains? Right? So there's Rupus Negra El Altísima, high black cliffs in the center, right? Allegedly at 90 degrees north. And then Polus Magnaris respect to Insularo Cygnus, whatever. Magnetic pole in respect to the Green Islands is what this is. It's talking about, so there's this pole and there's this pole. Oh, well, actually it doesn't even say that the center is magnetic. It has these are 2 magnetic poles. So here's a pole, and Polus Magnetis, Chorus Insulae, I don't really know what it says, but these are both Magnetis and Polus Magnetis. So these are 2 magnetic spots on this ancient map from not ancient, I guess you could call it ancient, 1595. So, and then here's Greenland down here. So that's what I want to know. I want to know what's going on here. Where did the islands go? why were there islands on the map and now there aren't islands on the map? You know? So it's like, there's still things that we can look into. Although, I have to say, I don't think anybody's going to the center. Who's going to the center? You think I'm funny? Well, great. And doesn't it feel divine? Nice. Guarded by the polar bears. Don't forget to appreciate this place while trying to figure it out. It's pretty amazing and gets ever so more as I learn. I agree, good times for all this. This place, this realm we live in is absolutely amazing. What happened to that guy who was going to Hyperborea? He got in trouble because he was a kind of a dipshit moron, and he was live streaming himself hiking through where like a part of between the United States and Canada where there wasn't really any border patrol. And this is the last thing I remember seeing. He was on there live streaming, and he was like, "I'm in America. Now I'm in Canada. Now I'm in America. Now I'm in Canada." And then the Canadian guard went over there and they arrested his ass. He got arrested. I don't know what happened to that guy, but I have to say, I just didn't have a lot of faith in that guy, and I don't know what happened. We lost the North. That map is what someone believed the Earth to be before the flood. This one? The Mercator map? You think the Mercator map is the pre-flood? So you think the flood is the reason why those are gone? But the maps are 1,500 years old. So then time would have had to have been added. Or the maps are older. So do you think the maps are older than they say they are? Or what? I don't know about that. I mean, I'm open to consider it, but I don't know about that. The universe you deny is even more amazing. No, it isn't. You can't even go there. It's a bunch of lights in the sky. Tell me, Joe Davenport, how, as a globe believer, do you enjoy the lights in the sky any more or less than I do? Do you get in your spaceship and go there, Joe Davenport the Globey? Do you go bounce from globe to globe? Travel, interstellar travel? Do you go to Mars? No, you don't. There was no biblical flood, false. Well, you don't know that either, Joe. You weren't there. You weren't there. The moon's not a map. I reject the moon as a map under all logical investigation that I have already done. I reject that the moon is a map. It is not a map. Hammer. I think we are still flooded. There was a biblical flood and a couple other bigger and less big ones. Yeah, there's evidence of a flood everywhere. I got proof, so you were wrong. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have any proof. No, you don't. Okay, what time is it? Oh my god, it's almost 2 o'clock. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna take a look. Person who called about the metabunk thing, I'll look at that. I'm pretty sure that plain sailing has already been shown to work just fine on and navigation on a flat Earth. But I will look at that. We'll revisit that again. Yeah, and that's it. So I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay? Try not to, get too conspiratarded. Go do something that makes you happy. Make yourself a nice meal. Go for a walk in the sunshine if you can get some sunshine. Pet your pets. Squeeze your babies. Do something that makes you smile. And stop worrying about ridiculous crap that goes online all the time. And, yeah, I guess that's it. Check chat. Vaping will heat up your breath. If you took a drink of water and then vaped, I would expect to see what he did. Alright. Okay, thanks. Shout out to Rumble, Rockfin, Twitch, X, anybody watching on these platforms. Sorry about YouTube dropping my stream and it's in 2 parts, but hey, it is what it is. And have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next time. I'm not sure if Globebusters Tech is starting this week or next week. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, alright, you guys. Peace. And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. There are also links below for Flat Earth merch, and you can send me donations. And I do appreciate all the support. Sincerely, thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about upcoming Flattoberfests and Flat Earth-friendly local meetups. If you are organizing a local Flat Earth meetup, email me at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com with your meetup information to have it listed on the website for free. For everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com. Thank you for being here.